Welcome to this video session of Math Matters. This is the seventh and final video in a series of videos in which we are looking at solving linear algebraic equations. In the last couple of videos, we learned how to solve equations using four basic steps: simplify, move, isolate, and check. Let's solve this equation. 6b plus 3 minus 2b is equal to 2b minus 15 plus 4. Step 1. Simplify. For this equation, simplify each side by combining like terms. 6b and negative 2b equals 4b. Key in combining like terms is to look at subtraction as adding the negative. So it's not minus 2b, but it's plus negative 2b. Negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11. Step 1, simplify. Both sides are simplified. Step 1 is done. Step 2, move. Get variables to one side, constants to the other side. Do variables first. Move 2b by subtracting 2b from both sides. 4b plus negative 2b is 2b. And 2b plus negative 2b, or in English, to be or not to be, they cancel each other out. Now move the constant term 3 by adding negative 3 to both sides. Positive 3, negative 3 cancel each other out. Negative 11 and negative 3 is negative 14. The variable term is on the left side and the constant term is on the right side. Step 2 is done. Step 3, isolate. To isolate the variable b, divide by 2 both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1. They factor out. And 1 times b is just b. Negative 14 divided by 2, negative divided by a positive is negative. 14 divided by 2 is 7, negative 7. b is equal to negative 7. Negative 7 is the solution to the equation. Step number 3 is done. Step number 4, check. Probably you could do this check in your head, but I'm going to show it. Take the original equation and substitute negative 7 in place of b. Simplify using the order of operations. Parentheses are first. The parentheses that we have are used to indicate that the number is a negative 7. There is nothing else to complete inside of the parentheses. Next is exponents. Since this is a linear equation, we don't have exponents. Now comes multiplication or division going left to right. For this equation, we do have multiplication. 6 times negative 7. Positive times negative is negative. 6 times 7 is 42. Negative 42. Next, remember minus 2 is the same as plus negative 2. And negative 2 times negative 7, negative times negative is positive. 2 times 7 is 14, positive 14, or plus 14. Now on the right side, positive 2 times negative 7 is negative 14. All of the multiplication and division is done, so drop down the rest. The last step in the order of operations is to add and or subtract going left to right. This is where it is helpful to think of subtraction as plus the negative. That way we don't have to go left to right, but we can combine all of the negatives and combine all of the positives. On the left side, the only negative is 42, and two positives, positive 3 plus positive 14, is positive 17. On the right side, combine the negatives. Negative 14 and negative 15 equals negative 29, and we have just one positive, positive 4. Now we can take care of adding different signs. Negative 42 plus positive 17. The sign of the answer is the sign of the one with the largest absolute value. In this case, 42 is larger than 17, so the answer will be negative. Then take the difference of the two. 42 minus 17 is 25, and we have negative 25. On the right side, we have absolute value 29 is larger than absolute value of 4, So the sign of the answer, again, will be negative from the negative 29. The difference, 29 minus 4, is 25. We have negative 25. Negative 25 is equal to negative 25, so it's true. So negative 7 is a solution for this equation. When an equation has a specific solution like negative 7, the equation is said to be a conditional equation. That means the equation is true only under specific conditions. For this one, it is true when b is equal to negative 7. Now let's try another equation. Let's take negative 3 times, in parentheses, a plus negative 4, close the parentheses and add a, is equal to 12 minus 2a. Start by simplifying both sides of the equation. The right side is already in simplest terms. On the left side, we need to distribute the negative 3. Negative 3 times a is negative 3a. Negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. Now combine like terms. Negative 3a plus a is negative 2a, and then drop down the positive 12. Now both sides are in simplest terms. Next move, get the variable terms to one side and constants to the other. Start with the variable terms. Add 2a to both sides. Negative 2a plus 2a cancel out. And again, negative 2a plus 2a cancels out. We end up with 12 is equal to 12, which is always true. What does this mean? When we end up with an equation where both sides are the same, equal, we have what is called an identity equation. What does that mean? It means that it is true for any real number. You can put in any real number for a, and it will always be true. To show this, let's start with the original equation and substitute in 5 for a. Now use the order of operations to simplify. Parentheses first. 5 minus 4, or 5 plus negative 4, is 1. Parentheses are done. Drop down the rest. We have no exponents. Multiplication division going from left to right. On the left, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. On the right side, we have negative 2 times 5, which is negative 10. Multiplication division is done. Drop down the rest. Finally, addition and or subtraction going from left to right. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2, and 12 plus negative 10 is also 2. 2 is equal to 2. That is true. Because this equation is an identity equation, you can put in any real number for a, simplify, and it will always be true. Let's do one more linear equation. 4 times, in parentheses, x minus 17, to this add 3x, is equal to 7 times, in parentheses, x plus 7. Start by simplifying both sides of the equation. Since we have parentheses, we need to distribute. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times negative 17 is negative 68. 7 times x is 7x, and 7 times 7 is 49. Drop down the rest. Now combine like terms. We have 4x plus 3x, which is 7x. Drop down the rest, and simplifying is done. Now work on getting variable terms to one side and constant terms to the other. Do the move. Start with the variable terms. Add negative 7x to both sides. 7x and negative 7x cancel each other out. Again, 7x subtract 7x cancels each other out. We now have negative 68 is equal to 49. But we all know negative 68 does not equal 49. This is not true. In the case where we end up with something that is not equal to each other, we have what is called a contradiction equation. Nothing will make this equation true. The equation contradicts itself. So in conclusion, we have three types of equations. A conditional equation, its solution will be a specific real number that makes the equation true. An identity equation, its solution will be all real numbers. And a contradiction equation does not have a solution. No real numbers will make it true. Well, we have made it to the end of this video, as well as the end of the series on solving linear algebraic equations. It was a long voyage, but I hope that it was beneficial for you. Remember, it takes practice, homework, to become good at music, sports, foreign languages, and math. Stay the course and have a nice day.